Hello, I'm Steve Mann and this is Paper Classroom. Welcome to our tutorial for the history module. In this particular video we're going to talk about the spreading of paper making to the east. Now of course when the Chinese first invented paper, the emperors saw its value and its importance, and what they didn't want was the secret of making of paper to go out of China. They were quite happy to sell it, but they wanted the manufacturing to be kept as essentially as a state secret. But as you might expect, eventually it did leak out. First of all, it went into Japan, and then it went a little north and east into Korea. Of course, there was no North and South Korea in those days. It was just Korea. And then from Korea, it went into Japan. How did it get to Japan? Well, the story is that there was a Korean monk, Don Cho, who took the secret of paper making into Japan round about 610 AD. Now there are two important facts to remember about Japan. The first is that around about 735 there was a outbreak of smallpox. It was rife throughout the whole of Japan, and the Empress of Japan at the time, Empress Shotoku, had an idea, and she wanted to send prayers to every village in Japan, and this was the first instance of the mass printing of paper. She had 1 million, or the rumour has, the story goes, she had 1 million of these prayers written on these scrolls of paper. She had 1 million little 3-inch wooden pagodas produced, and the prayer was inserted in the base of the pagoda and distributed to all the villages in Japan, the idea being to ward off the smallpox. It took them 4 years to complete that task. To me, 1 million seems quite a lot because at the time, round about 700, the population of Japan was round about 4 million to 6 million, something like that. So unless your villages consisted of 4 people, I can't imagine there being 1 million villages. Anyway, to move on. The other fact that Japan is well known for is the first ever record of paper recycling comes from Japan. Now they say that the Japanese weren't particularly inventive, but they were extremely good copiers. So it's believed that paper recycling was going on elsewhere, probably in China, but no one ever wrote it down. The Japanese obviously thought it was a good idea and actually wrote down the fact that they were doing something like that. So when they were running out of raw materials for new paper, they had the idea, well, why don't we take some of the old paper stuff we don't use anymore and mash that up and make a new piece of paper? Good idea. The one thing that they had not done, of course, was they had not developed de-inking technology. And so paper, first generation paper, made from flax and hemp and material like that, came out as a sort of creamy off-white colour. It was then written on with these intense black inks, and then of course when it was mashed up and made into a new piece of paper, it came out grey. So Japan had these two qualities of paper: brand new paper, a creamy yellowish, and recycled paper, a greyish colour. So two things to remember, two things for you to think about is Japan was the first mass printing of paper and the first recycling of paper. Well, I hope you enjoyed that short tutorial. Thank you for watching, and please enjoy our other videos.